Here is one of the coolest tools I've ever used that really helps me when I'm manifesting or trying to manifest something, if it's right for me. And this is a great story. I want you to listen to it, and I want you to see if you can apply this daily spiritual practice in your life. Hi, my name is Patty, and my mission in this life right now is about finding those unconscious and unloving parts of us. Help us to become aware of them, me and you, become aware of those unconscious and loving parts and change them into conscious and loving parts of us so we can have a more conscious and loving world. That's my deal. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe, like, and put in a comment below if this resonates with you. So here we go. Years ago, I was on this spiritual journey and I was manifesting in the 90s, and I really wanted this job so badly. I wanted a job in the governor's office because I loved politics back then. And I was doing everything I could to force my way into the governor's office. And I kept showing up. I would drive up every week, 5 hours each way to get an appointment to talk to somebody. And I'd go home and I'd do my manifestation affirmations. And that affirmation was like, I would say, I've got the job in the governor's office. I got the job in the governor's office. I'm so happy being in the governor's office. And I'm saying all of these things, all of these affirmations like we are taught, right? And then I come across a book. It isn't this one, but it's by the author, Shakti Gawain. And the book that she had written was called Creative Visualization. And what she wrote in it is something really spectacular, and I want you to know what happened. This affirmation is this or something better for the highest good of all concerned. So when I did my affirmation, I read that, I was like, okay, let me see if I can just use that and see what happens. Because what happens if you say this or something better for the highest good of all concerned, that means my ego is taken out of it. That there is a power greater than me that knows what's best for me. I don't always know what's best for me. I promise you that. And my life has really proven that over and over again. So what happened was, when I kept saying that affirmation, I've got this job in the governor's office. I'm so happy being in the governor's office, and I'm bringing so much love to the world by being in the governor's office. This or something better for the highest good of all concerned. And I keep repeating that all day long. This or something better for the highest good of all concerned. I never got the job at the governor's office. What I ended up was being a technical writer at IBM. That is not what I had anticipated. That is not what I wanted. I wanted to be where the action was, not sit in front of a computer all day. And this is what happened out of that moment and out of that experience. And I want you to listen to this. That changed the trajectory of my life. That statement said, because as I said that, immediately after I said that, I got an offer from IBM offering me a job as a technical writer for a lot of money. I didn't want to do it, but I said, okay, this is what God wants me to do. And that's how I did it, actually. And so what ended up happening was I learned how to write because I had an editor, because back in those days, we didn't have Microsoft Word. I had a real editor who taught me how to write. Then I learned these technical skills, and I opened up my own internet consulting firm, and I was one of the first women, if not the first woman, to have an internet consulting firm in the state of Florida. Then after that ended, I ended up working at the Pentagon, a Florida girl working at the Pentagon. Who would think that? Then I worked at the National Institutes of Health, always surrendering, saying, God, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? And then finally, I ended up back home. There was a lot of chaos, of course, because I don't always apply my spiritual practices, just letting you know. And when I don't practice my spiritual practices, my life falls apart, but it comes back together again once I get in alignment, what resonates with me. So even though I really wanted that job, the universe said, no, this is not good for you. This is where you need to be. And I've had a career like none other, and it was so hard. My career was so difficult, and there were parts of it I enjoyed, but there were really big sacrifices I had to make as well. And I really know in my heart, as I know for you, that when you surrender and stop trying to have your fucking way all the time, when I try to have my way, I'm forcing myself into what's happening in the world. But that is not necessarily God's will for me. I want you to hear that. So ego, in another way of saying it, is edging God out. And when I invite God into my life through a daily spiritual practice or being aware of what's around me and stop having to have my way, the universe is going to point me to where I need to be. And so now, as I'm older, it's a lot easier to kind of let go and just let life unfold. I hope this helps with you in your daily practice as you are generating and creating from your place of love. And sometimes it isn't going to work out the way you want to, but sometimes it works out way better. So I want you to really pay attention as you're going through your life. And whatever it is that's happening, you are going to be okay. I want you to know that. And I know from my own life and from so many other people's lives that I'm a part of, when you surrender to the divine that has your back, that has nothing but the good for you in your life goes a lot smoother, I promise. Sometimes it gets shitty, but the idea is this or something better for the highest good of all concerned. Takes your ego right out of it. And today I'm reading from Journey to the Heart, and it says, let life reveal itself to you. You don't have to strain so trying to get your revelations. The guidance, the inspiration, the awareness you need will come to you. The way we're living now from the heart is much easier than the way we lived before. Sometimes it is so natural, we might not even understand it's happening. We might even be uncomfortable at first to see how easy it is. We find ourselves straining to lift a heavy bowling ball when what we have to pick up is only a ping pong ball. Then we wonder why it feels so light. We may question whether there's something wrong with us because it feels so different. Just because your life feels lighter doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Your next step, the answer to the question you've been mulling about, the direction for the next stage of your growth, where you will live next, what you need to do next about work, money, or that problem you've been struggling with will come. If you're fussing and straining, you may not hear it. Probably you're not. Don't worry about getting all your answers or your agenda for the years ahead. That is not how this process works. In order to participate in this more magical way of life, trust that all you need to know will be revealed to you when it is time. So with that, just kind of know that you can relax and everything is going to be okay. And you don't need to be hyper vigilant all the time, trying to figure out what's going to happen next. That's fear-based. My daily spiritual practice, your daily spiritual practice is connecting with the divine and knowing and feeling and experience that love. And knowing that the forces of the universe are pushing you and allowing things to happen for you. I know it to be true for me. I know it to be true for you. And if you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, maybe put in a comment below if you want some more information, and know that you are loved and I love you. And don't forget to subscribe.